Ernie here with Broodhome Farms, outside today, checking on some prints in the snow. I saw a deer this morning walking around the pond, but at a distance I couldn't tell what it was. I didn't see any antlers, but it was alone. So I'm not sure if I was looking at a really decent doe, or if we had like a button buck or something young that's just out on its own at the moment. But before we get to the area where those tracks are, I found some other tracks on the way that I wanted to just showcase a bit and talk about. So here we can see some deer tracks in the snow. They're a little bit melted at this point. There wasn't a lot of snow. I can see we had something smaller, younger, and then we had some decent sized deer coming through as well. With the snow melt the way it is, I'm not sure if there's any dew claw marks. I can't see anything like that. There's some drags on the prints, but I don't know if they are hiding something or not. My tracks up here are in the way a little bit, but you can see, you know, some more tracks here. Hunting season's coming to a close and they're getting a bit more bold. So I don't think these are traveling in the same direction as the one I saw this morning, so we'll catch up again in a moment here when I find those tracks and see what we can learn about them. They should be pretty fresh. So I followed the tracks a bit further around the pond, and they started to die out in this grass here underneath a tree. And just as they were starting to disappear, we came across our next clue right here. Now this is scat, and typically when it's in a pile like this, you have a doe. But they're also fairly large pills, and you can see here where some of them are stuck together, or shapes where some might have been stuck together. When they're stuck together in a big clump, that's typically the idea that you have a buck. So I'm not sure if we have a small young buck or a doe. This is starting to look like a big doe, though. More clues coming up, I suppose. Alright, we've come back to snow, and here we can see fairly good sized prints. Fairly good sized prints here. And these are fresh. I know for a fact these are fresh. I watched this deer come through the back myself. Again, there's some drag marks. Not sure if that's hiding a dew claw or if I'm just not seeing it. I'm by no means a professional tracker. There are some people who can tell you just by the size of the print and the location of the dew claw how much that deer will weigh. I can't do such a thing. We came over here and stood by this tree for a bit. And I'm not sure what we got, if there's any browse. Looks like maybe a small bit of rutting from a young deer, but it's not really the right time and place for such a thing. Well, it peed right about here, but I still can't tell you much more than that. Not going to be tasting it or anything. I suppose there's some who could tell you more about the deer from that. size prints in here. Good size fresh prints. So that's what we got for the day. I'm gonna have to go with maybe, I think this is just a big doe. But if anybody knows better, please feel free to point out anything in the comments or to let us know, you know, if there's a better way to be reading some of these signs and signals. Again, pretty decent with my tracks as far as identification, but I can't always tell you how big it is, how much it weighs, if it's male or female. The scat is usually my best indicator, and what we saw just kind of looks like it was a big doe. So come back again sometime, and hopefully we'll see you some more. Bye.